Hello and welcome to today's lesson. We would learn the common types of clocks and how to tell the time using them. Okay, let's begin. The clock shows us the time during the day. The clock is very important because without it, telling the time will be a little bit more difficult. We can find the clock almost in every house or school we go to. People also carry what is called a wristwatch, which is a type of clock that is portable. There are majorly two types of clocks out there, and both of them are commonly used all over the world. Types of clock. Analog clock. Analog clocks are the commonly used clocks. We see them being hung in schools, homes, and offices. They are very easy to read from a distance, though you might not be very accurate, but you will be very much close in reading the time. In the analog clock, the second counter moves around the clock 60 times to make a minute, and the minute counter also moves 60 times to make an hour, while the hour counter, which is the smallest in length, moves 24 times in order to make a day. Digital clock. The digital clock displays the time in a much simpler way. It is easier to read the time on a digital clock than on an analog clock. The number at the left hand side tells us the hour of the day, while the number at the right hand side tells us the minutes. Now let's learn to say the time on an analog clock and on a digital clock. Which clock shows 8:30? The digital clock at the right hand side shows 8:30. What time does the clock show? 12:30 is the time being displayed on the analog clock. The hour pointer is slightly past 12 because it's moving towards 1, and the minute counter is on 6. Look at the digital clock. Which analog clock shows the same time? The analog clock at the right hand side is the clock that shows us the same time on the digital clock. Bella's grandma is reading a book one evening. The clock shows 6 o'clock. What time is it? Is it 6 a.m. or 6 p.m.? Correct. It's 6 p.m. because the question says evening, and 6 p.m. is evening, while 6 a.m. talks about the early hours of the day. Take our time to do these activities, as it would help improve your understanding of telling time. We have come to the end of this lesson, and I hope you learned how to say the time on an analog and digital clock. I'd love to see you in the next lesson. Bye.